Class 10, let's do the numericals from chapter 8a today, okay? So, one by one from each portion we will do. First, remember this, I equal to Q by T, that is equal to N E by T. What is Q? Charge. T, time. N, number of electrons. E is a charge carried by each electron, right? So, suppose in the first sum you have, in a conductor 6.25 into 10 to the power 16 electrons flow from one end to another end in 2 seconds. That means N is given, N given, number of electrons given, T is given, time 2 seconds. And also charge carried by each electron E is given 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb. Can you find the current? Obviously. Next one you have a current of 1.6 milliampere. This is number 2. Current of 1.6 milliampere. In this case, current is given, flows to a conductor. If charge on an electron, again see E is given. E given. Find the number of electrons that will pass each second through the cross section of that conductor. Time is therefore 1 second. E is given, standard value. Now I, how will you find I is given? You have to find N. Number of electrons you have to find N. You can find I equal to N into E by T, I into T by E. But what I want to just mention, when you are doing, convert milliampere to ampere, okay? That means it's given in 1.6 milliampere. So 1.6 milliampere means you have to convert to ampere. So that means into 10 to the power minus 3. That is, you are dividing by 1000. Milliampere to ampere into 10 to the power minus 3. And ampere to milliampere obviously into 10 to the power 3. Okay. Now next set. The next type of is numericals come from V by I equal to R using Ohm's law. This is a Ohm's law expression. So say number 3 sum. Find the potential difference required to flow a current of 200 milliampere. Current is given 200 milliampere. Note the unit. Convert to ampere because resistance is given 20 ohm. R is 20 ohm. So what is V? I into R. V will be 200 into 10 to the power minus 3 because you have to convert to ampere. We want the answers in SI unit, and ampere is a SI unit. Milliampere is a sub-unit of ampere. Into 20. Okay? So, you will get the answer obviously in volt. Because you are anyways 1, 2, 3. That means ultimately you will get 4. 10 to the power 3. See, you have 4 into 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power minus 3. So 4 volt is the answer. Okay. Now, another one, this is very easy, number 4. Electric bulb draws 1.2 ampere current at 6 volt. So if current is given 1.2 ampere, V is given, how can I find the resistance? V by I, simply. Number 5, a bulb is car bulb connected to a 12 volt battery draws 2 ampere current when glowing. So what is the resistance? Very easy. V by I, simply you will get 6 ohm. Next question is, will the resistance be more? Same same or less when the bulb is not glowing. This I have discussed. Temperature increases, resistance increases. So when the bulb is glowing, the temperature is increasing. After some time you will find resistance is more than the initial value. That means when it was not glowing. This I have already discussed. Number 6 also very easy. You have to find the current. Calculate the current flowing through a wire of resistance 5 ohm, resistance given 5 ohm, connected to a battery of potential difference 3 volt. V is given. So I you can find simply V by R. So these are some easy facts. Number 13 also similar type of thing. Same, you can do that. Next, let's come to the specific resistance. Now see a sum from specific resistance. What length of copper wire of specific resistance given and radius 1 millimeter. Why radius is given, I will tell you. It's required so that its resistance is 1 ohm. Do we remember this formula? R equal to rho into L by A, where R is the resistance, rho specific resistance, L length of the wire, and A is the area of cross section of the wire. Now if you have a wire, this is the area of cross section. What will be the area of cross section? Pi r square. Simply circular area. So the area of cross section is pi r square, where r is the radius. That is why here radius is given. Now r is given 1 ohm. So can I find L as r into A by rho? Right? R is given 1 ohm. Rho is given, what is A? Pi r square. Now radius is 1 millimeter. What do we have to do? Convert to meter, because we need the answer in SI unit. Ohm, meter, ohm, everything is in SI. So, meter. So, R 1 millimeter means, R equal to 1 millimeter means 1 by 1000 meter. So, pi r square. See, area is pi r square. So, pi into 1 by 1000 whole square. So now I just have substituted the values and I've got the answer. L. So therefore L, length of the wire is 184.7 meter. So this is how, so like this, for example you have to find the area. Or for example you have to find the radius. How can you find the radius? If R given, rho given, L given, first find the area. That area will be rho into L by R. So if suppose these are the things which are given and you find the area, say you find it as say 20 meters square, for example. So then from this, how can you find the radius of the wire? Pi r square is equal to this, so R is equal to, now you find. Okay, pi r square equal to this, so r square equal to this by pi, r equal to root over that. Okay, if I can find the area, I can find the radius. Okay. Now see, if you have a sum, two wires of same material and length, but radii 1 millimeter and 2 millimeter are given. So you have two wires, A and B. One has radius 1 millimeter, another has 2 millimeter. You have to compare the resistances and you have to compare the specific resistances. Second one is easy. Same material. That means the specific resistance for both will be same. Specific resistance for both will be same. So what will be the ratio then? 1:1. Now let's find the ratio of the resistances. Now, what have we learned? R equal to rho into L by A. That is rho into L by pi r square. So therefore, can I say R is inversely proportional to the radius of cross section, square of the radius of cross section, right? So if that is so, then can I write R1 by R2 equal to R2 square by R1 square? It's inversely proportional, that's why. Simple how I have got this. R1 is rho, say rho into L1 by A1 pi R1 square. Say, because A you know it's the cross section of the wire, just now the previous time I have done, right? R2 equal to rho. Why have I written rho? Because specific resistance same, material is same, that means for both specific resistance is same, into L2 by pi R2 square. Now again they have mentioned same length. Length is also same, that means L1 equal to L2. So instead of L1, L2 I can simply write L. Now if you just divide R1 by R2, you will get R2 square by R1 square. Okay, so whenever two things are inversely proportional, we can write it like this. So R2 square means 1 millimeter. Do I need to convert it to meter? I don't need, because it's a ratio we are finding. So anyways, if you convert to meter, numerator also to meter, denominator also to meter, both will get cancelled. So why waste time? So R2 is this one is R2, this is R1. I am finding the ratio of this is to this, that's why. So 4 by 1, so therefore resistance ratio is 4:1. Now see this sum. A given wire of resistance 1 ohm is stretched to double its length. So a wire is given, you are stretching the wire so that its length become double of the initial value. Now imagine you are stretching the same wire. So if you are stretching the same wire, its length is getting doubled, but isn't its cross section area getting halved? Because you are stretching the same wire. Where will the extra mass come from? Where? Mass remains same, right? So you are just stretching the same wire. So obviously, if you are stretching the same wire, how will it elongate? Only if the area of cross section becomes shorter now, right? So when you are stretching the same wire, this wire is stretching to double its length. Length is getting doubled, fine. So length is getting doubled, but area of cross section is getting halved. Right? Now use this formula. R equal to rho into L by A. R is the initial resistance. After you stretch the wire, R prime equal to rho into same formula. Now the new length is 2L. A by 2 comes in the numerator, so 4 into L by A. So can I write like this? What is rho into A by L? This R. What is R? Given 1 ohm. So 4 into 1, 4 ohm. So see, you are stretching the wire to double its length, but the resistance is getting 4 times now. Okay. Will there be any change in the specific resistance? Rho? No change. Why? Because it's the same material you are using. Okay. In fact, rho, if you just back calculate, you will find rho will come as same. Okay. So previous one we have done when the wire was stretched to double its length. Now a wire of resistance 3 ohm, length 10 centimeter, is stretched to length 30 centimeter. So 10 to 30, that means length was tripled. L prime is 3L. The new length is now tripled. What will be the area of cross section now? A by 3. So R equal to rho into L by A. Rho is a specific resistance, L length, area of cross section. New resistance, rho, specific resistance remains same because it's the same material. You are stretching the same wire. 3L by A by 3. 3 comes above. 9 into L by A. So 9 rho into L by A. What is rho into L by A? R, the initial resistance. 3 ohm is given. So that's why 27. So just notice, When you stretch a wire to double its length, it's becoming 4 times the resistance. Same wire, tripling 3 times, 9 times. Okay? So fine. Now if suppose, okay, I'll do another sum, then you will understand. Now see this one. A wire of resistance 9 ohm having a length given is tripled on itself. Understand the meaning. Tripled on itself means it's not stretched to thrice its length. Tripled on itself. If this is a wire, this was a wire. Now it's kept like this. You understand? This is a wire. So I'm folding the wire into 3 folds. Tripled, same wire. So this was a wire. So now it has become like this. Why? Because it's now in 3 folds. Wire is tripled on itself. Now area of cross section is increasing. Length becomes 1/3 because it's tripled on itself. So now the area of cross section becomes thrice. Same wire was folded in 3 folds. Now the area of cross section becomes thrice. Length obviously 1/3. Length decreases. If you have this much length of wire, and you are just, how you fold the measuring tape. When you fold, you have a long measuring tape. When you fold it, length becomes shorter, but you will find that the width becomes longer. More, isn't it? So you are just folding the wire onto itself. Area of cross section becomes thrice. Length becomes 1/3. Now see, 1/9 rho into L by A. What is rho into L by A? Initial resistance, which is given as 9 ohm. So ultimately 1 ohm. So when the area, so that means if I say, if a wire is doubled on itself, resistance will be now becoming, if a wire is instead of tripled, if I say if it is doubled on itself, that means A will become, in this case, A prime was 3A and L prime was L by 3. If it is doubled on itself, A is 2A, L is, so it will become 1/4 resistance now. Okay? Fine. So this is the case. So just remember few things, that whenever I find that many of you make this mistake, you are using the formula V equal to IR, that is okay. Given information is okay, but sometimes I is given in milliampere, you forget to convert to ampere. You will get the wrong answer. That answer won't be, say you are using 20 milliampere and here you are using 1 ohm. How can this be volt? Then potential difference cannot be in volt. Because ampere, what do we know? Volt per ampere is 1 ohm. Not volt per milliampere. Right? So keep this in mind. So that's all for the numericals portion. So do this numericals at home. If you find any difficulty, if you get stuck, then ask me.